Today we are preparing our raw salmon. So we thought that we would try to take some time and share with you what we've learned about raw meat. Cassie is going to read to you some of the information that we have.
Do you know what the word Eskimo means? Eskimo means eater of raw meat. Dr. Weston Price described the impressive physical strength of primitive Eskimos, the ability to survive and thrive in the harsh northern environment. In village after village, he found among Eskimos subsisting entirely upon native diet of mostly raw meat. Fat and fish had virtually no decay, teeth, and no evidence of chronic disease. In the Milk Book by William Campbell Douglas, Dr. Carew reported on the remarkable effects seen in such a great variety of diseases that raw milk may be supplying some hormonal elements to the patients. He repeatedly saw marked improvements in patients with toxic thyroid disease and hormonal malady. Dr. Carew was especially enthusiastic about raw milk in the treatment of diseases of the prostate gland. Although Dr. Carew's experiences were on the feeding of raw milk for diseases, the key is not milk but raw. The same results may be attained as Carew implies by eating fresh raw meat. He relates the story of the explorer Stephenson, who traveled from the frozen Arctic with his colleagues, living on fish, seal, polar bear, and caribou, nothing else for 9 months. Most of this was eaten raw, and although undergoing in the severest of hardships, they were never sick. On the return journey, they discovered a catch of civilized food, including flour, preserved fruits and vegetables, and salted cooked meat. Against Stephenson's advice, the men ate this preserved food for several days. They quickly developed diarrhea, loose teeth, sore mouths. Stephenson immediately placed them on raw caribou tongue in a few days.
Well, let me go ahead and explain to you a bit about what Will's doing right now. We have some frozen salmon fillets as well as a piece of frozen cod. We actually removed them from their packaging and have had them in the refrigerator for a couple of hours just to defrost so that they're a little bit easier to manage. The salmon that we purchase is actually wild caught Pacific salmon. It does come with the skin on it, so one of the tedious parts is actually removing the skin from the salmon, just depending on the size you prefer. And then next, what we'll be doing is juicing these lemons and limes. And then we'll be covering the fish with the freshly organic lemon and lime juice until the full surface of the fish is covered. And just for those who are concerned about parasites and pathogens, I just wanted to let you know that according to the USDA, after meat has been frozen for 14 days, that is supposed to effectively kill off the parasites. And Sally Fallon, in her Nourishing Traditions, she states that if you marinate the fish in fresh organic lemon juice or lime juice or whey, that this too will effectively kill off the parasites and pathogens and will also serve to pre-digest the meat. For those of you who are wondering why raw and what's the difference between raw and cooked, it was explained to us this way, that the cooking process kills the food by by eliminating the enzymes, starts killing the phytonutrients, kills 70% of the vitamins, converts fats, proteins, and minerals to a form the body cannot use. So that is why we are enjoying our raw food, because we are basically getting as much of the nutrients from the food that our bodies can utilize. I know that eating raw meat is not very familiar to us, but just to direct your thoughts, not only did the Eskimos eat a large portion of their diet was raw meat, but also there are many raw dishes around the world that we as Americans may not be familiar with. Will has actually had ceviche in Lima, Peru, which is actually a raw fish dish again. We also know of steak tartare from France and carpaccio from Italy. And so just to let you know, although it may seem so foreign to us, it really is something that has been around for a long time. And the one important thing that I want to explain to you is that when you are eating raw meats and fish, you want to make sure that you're using fresh. Like with the fish, salmon, you want to make sure that it's fresh, wild caught. You don't want to eat farm waste fish. Oftentimes there's chemicals involved in unnatural diets. When you're working with raw meats, and we've enjoyed raw grass-fed beef that's organically raised. The important thing is to know where your meat's coming from, how it's being processed, and just to make sure that you're getting the highest quality that you can. Though it sounds, I want you to know that all 6 of my children actually enjoyed this. There's not one of them who does not enjoy the raw fish or our raw meat if we prepare it, and that we all like it. And I think a lot of it is in preparation and utilizing the ingredients that we have available to us just to make it very flavorful. Now that Will is finishing up the lemon and lime juice, I'm going to go ahead and spice it up a little bit. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of salt, and remember again, you want to use a high quality sea salt. We also like to use about a tablespoon of dill. This is organic dry dill. And then I like to put in about a teaspoon of organic red pepper flakes. Now what we'll do is, as soon as Will's finished with the juicing, we'll go ahead and stir this up and marinate it in the refrigerator overnight until we are ready to actually serve it up. Now I'm excited to show you how we've plated this wonderful meal. I've removed the salmon from the marinade with a slotted spoon. And what's really neat about the salmon is now that it's been marinated, it actually has a cooked type texture. We've plated it with organic Napa cabbage, with organic tomato and cucumber and avocado. For some reason, the salmon and avocado combination is really good. The other thing that we like to do, because we use a lot of carrots with the juicing, Chase has taken some sweet potato and made some sweet potato chips for us. And I just want to let you know this is so wonderful and all of us enjoy it. Do you all enjoy your raw fish?
Yes.